We are live, we are live, we are live. Let's go over here to the computer. All right, let's throw this on here. And let's go back to the YouTube. Peace, grown man. Yeah, right on time, right on. We right on time. We right on time. Kamu was in the building, Donnie in the building, YouTube 91 in the building. Oh, I got the computer on. Y'all know I like the phone and the computer. Let me just post this thing up here and get ready for battle, man. Let's get ready to rumble. How you guys doing, man? So today you had a marvelous build. Yesterday you had a marvelous build. And we're gonna continue on. We're gonna continue on. Let's throw this up at the top. Peace to everybody in the building. So I think it's necessary to do this build. And we just gonna get right into it. Seems to us or the people that this information constantly has to be put out. And we want to make sure that this information is out for consumption. So without further ado, we're gonna get right to it. We're gonna have some other stuff I'm gonna throw up in here. So let's get ready for takeoff. Let's get ready for takeoff. So let me make sure this is playing on my computer. Let me fast forward this. Peace, everybody. Share the show. Share the show. I'm just looking at my computer and I'm looking at the screen, making sure everything is go. Wisdom is in the building. Oops, it just took me out of the live somehow. Let me see, is it still catching up? That's interesting. New rule, peace, hit the like button, hit the like button. So a lot of people having this notion. Oh, there it is. Just looking at my computer. Turn it down. Okay. I got two things open now, so that's why you heard that double thing. But a lot of people think that they are the Hebrew Israelites, that they are the people from the book, and that the 12.5 million people in North America, there were people who came over here with said culture. The issue is that has yet to be demonstrated in the history of Black people in America. However, what is demonstrated is the actual origin of the doctrine. And I am here today to teach you or to enlighten you or to give you some information where to find this. The Black Hebrew theology was born here in America. That's right. Not in West Africa, but here in America. Let's go. What is a doctrine? It is a belief or a set of beliefs, especially political or religious ones, that are taught and accepted by a particular group. Thus says the Cambridge Dictionary. So the doctrine that you speak about or seek about is people teaching that they are these 12 tribes of Israelites. Let's keep moving. What does the Black Hebrew theology doctrine consist of? Is various forms of them. Some say the white man is the devil. He's Esau. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Holiness Pentecostal Christianity mixed with Jewish practices. What do they say? We came from Palestine to West Africa, 70 AD. We're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about that. Occult New Age science mixed with Jewish traditions. Freemasonry. Africans are Hamites, not Israelites. They got interracial churches. They're dealing with Pan-Africanism. Some are anti-African. Some deal with millennialism and magic. All of these things, these 12 things, I picked 12, consists of the doctrine that makes up Hebrew Israelite theology in America. Let's keep going. The environment that created Black Hebrew doctrine. Here is a book here, Black Judaism, the story of an American movement. We're going to blow this up so we have this on the screen nice. All right. You don't want no mistakes here. Now, this says the 19th century in the United States was a turbulent era in the history of American Protestantism. An excess of separatism compounded the number of Protestant bodies enormously. A movement was gained rapidly with the beginnings of the independent Black church bodies. I want to be clear. None of these denominations of Christianity are started by Black people. Not one. They're not started by us. Now, when you hear about the independent Black church bodies, you will hear about the First Baptist Church in the South, or it's called the African. Let's say it right. The First African Baptist Church. Yep, that church. You know, the church, they try to tell you that there's Hebrew on the pews, and there's not a Hebrew word that can be identified. That one. And you know how they simultaneously skip the Congo cosmogram on the floor. Yeah, that one. So the independent Black church we know is dealing with the AME church, dealing with the Zion church. You also have Ethiopian sailors who come and help start a church in the early 1800s. In any event, this added to this were the separations occasioned by the holiness and Bible conference movements. These are very important. And shortly after the turn of the century, the Pentecostal movement. Much of the three later separations were centered on the urgency of salvation due to the believed imminence of the second coming and other interpretations of the eschatology of Christian millennial teachings. What is the second coming? So these are Europeans here. You know, you have they call them the awakenings, and they believe that Christ is coming. But in order for Christ to come, Israel must be restored. These people are looking at the Bible as history, and Black people are here in the middle of this. Let's keep going. One of the chronological elements of Christian apocalypse was the restoration of the Jews to Palestine prior to the millennium, a belief that occasioned many spurious efforts to locate the lost tribes and give rise to a concept known as Anglo-Israelism. Anglo-Israelism? What might that be? You take a guess. These are the Europeans telling you that they're the 10 tribes. That's what it is. It says the work of the London Society for Promoting Christianity Among the Jews figured prominently in the former and the teachings of Richard Brothers in London and the later. The travels of Henry A. Stern to Ethiopia on behalf of the London Society brought information to the world about a group of Blacks who were adherents to an ancient form of Judaism. You know them as the Philistines. All of these elements fused in the United States following the Civil War and gave rise to much free interpretation of the elements of biblical prophecy in both white and Black churches. The oral tradition became an important element in combining the developments of 19th century Protestantism with fervent efforts to seek holiness and to better understand and predict the events surrounding the millennium. I want to make this clear. This is not started by Black people. We are here in the middle of it, and we're going to find out about these Black people. In the American South, this development in the Black churches was coupled with the beginnings of a new form of legal Black disenfranchisement known as Jim Crowism. It was in this historic context of Black Protestantism in the American South where organized Black Judaism first appeared. Yes, This is the truth. Your black Hebrew Israelites in America come from the church at a specific time frame, and we're going to get to them. Now, on the screen to the right, you see a book called The Chosen People by Jacob S. Dorman. Who was the founders? You have people called a person, let me start, people called Bishop William Christian, and he created the Church of the Living God. In the 1890s, here goes the people. The two pioneers of Black Israelism, William Christian and William Saunders Crowdy, both combined holiness Christianity with Freemasonry and taught that the Israelites were Black. Prior to this time frame, you see the dates, there was no Black people in the Americas teaching that they were said tribes. You cannot find it. It does not exist. There is no intangible culture of peoples getting off the boat saying that they are Judah, Benjamin, or whatever have you. You do not have one revolt in the Americas where any Black person called on Yahweh and was saying that they were the children of Judah. You see Ogun, you see Shango, you see the riots in New York of 1712. All through the Americas, you see this very prevalent, but not one time do you see one Maroon community from Jamaica going all across the Caribbean, coming all the way to here where we are, all the way to South America. Do you see this culture? It doesn't exist. This is the birth date. These are the people. Who is William Christian? Christian was a slave in Mississippi, and he began preaching at the age of 19 in rural Wrightsville, Arkansas. He preached for 13 years before he received a divine revelation telling him that he had been preaching the doctrine of men, not God, and then began preaching a new doctrine in 1888. So let's get this clear. This guy had a divine revelation. He was already in the church. He was a Christian. He did not come off the boat, nor did his parents or his grandparents or his great-great-grandparents pass this on to such. But let's keep reading. In 1889, Bishop Christian founded a small group that he named the Christian Friendship Work, then the Church of God, and finally the Church of the Living God. Though these churches and the various churches they spawned, Christian taught that the ancient Israelites were Black and that contemporary Blacks were descended from the ancient Israelites. Very interesting. Let's keep reading. What was his doctrine? Mind you, he was also a Freemason, and we're going to get to that. Same book. This is what he comes up with. Question: was Jesus a member of the Black race? Yes. Read Matthew 1. Question: how do you know? Because he was in the line of Abraham and David the king. Question: is the assertion sufficient proof that Christ came of the Black generation? Answer: yes. Question: why? Because David said he became like a bottle in the smoke. Psalm 119:83. What color was Job? Answer: he was Black. Job 30:30. What color was Jeremiah? He said he was Black. Jeremiah 8:21. Who was Moses' wife? An Ethiopian or Black woman? Number 12:1. This is the formation of this said doctrine. Let's keep moving. William Christian. Clearly, this lineup at Jesus raises the Black race to a position counter to the prevailing white thought and dominant Black thought of the time. It makes Blacks lineal descendants of the biblical patriarchs, and though their line genealogically descended of Jesus Christ, who was of the Black race. It also counters, I want you to be clear what these Black people are doing. It counters the Anglo-Israel theory, which assigned to the white race the millennial role to be restored to Palestine in line with Christian theology, using the same exegetical mechanism of those who espouse such doctrines as Anglo-Israelism. Reverend Christians simply replaced whites with blacks, and it was also a view which was opposed to that espoused by many whites, some of whom were Baptist ministers, that blacks were not humans at all, but descended from some bestial origin. Let's back up a little. Let's read that last line again. They're responding to whites who are saying that blacks are not humans at all, but descended from some bestial origins. They're responding to some social, what you would call Darwinism and things of that nature. What will become social Darwinism. What else are they responding to? Are these the first black people to do this? Absolutely not. You could look at the first book written about black people in America by W.C. Pennington in 1841. And they are responding because they are reading the book, and the Europeans said that black people were him and were a curse. This is something that comes from the Jewish Talmud or their midrashes, which would be Midrash Rabbah 36:7 and Sheridan 101A and B, that says black people are ugly and a curse, and changes the story around of what's in the Torah of Noah and his three sons, and they switched this story to fit their view on how they saw black people. It's not in the Torah, but this is what black people decided to do to respond. Key quote here: they are responding to Anglo-Israelism. Second point, these people are in the church. Third point, their parents didn't teach them this. They didn't get off the boat saying this. They learned this from, we will get there. Let's keep walking. The Church of God and Saints of Christ. Bishop Christian's contemporary and counterpart in holiness, Masonic, Israelite theology was Bishop William Saunders Crowdy, founder of the Church of God and Saints of Christ. Crowdy was born into slavery in 1847 in St. Mary's County, Maryland. He ran away after a fight with a white man in 1863 and joined the Union Army, serving as a cook. After he was discharged, he purchased 100 acres of land outside of Gertie, Oklahoma, where he was a pillar of the community for 25 years, serving as a deacon in the local Baptist church and becoming an active Prince Hall Mason. Second person up, William Saunders Crowdy. What was he? A messenger from the where? From the Baptist church. What was he? A Prince Hall Freemason. Where did he go? Oklahoma. Go back to the MBK videos and you will see this purchase of land in this specific area, which became a hub for Freemasonry, but we will get back to that later. At the time, Gertie was the center of Prince Hall Freemasonry in the United States, and Crowdy was heavily influenced by Masonry's symbolism and eschatology. Where'd you learn it from? Becoming a prophet. How did he become a prophet? The biggest adventure of all came in 1893. The father, happy-go-lucky Will, whom everyone liked, began to act strangely. He often didn't know when people were talking to him, but would sit staring for longer and longer periods of time. Sometimes his lips were moving, but no sounds came. His wife thought that this result of too much carousing with his brothers, who she accused of making her husband drink when she was not at home. She asked him to give up his large meetings, but he was an ardent Mason. But he had really not attended his meetings in quite a while. This strange behavior, commencing in 1893, was the beginning of a series of divine revelations, through which Crowdy received instructions about belief and the manner of founding the true church. Second person, he's acting strangely, and he's getting divine revelation. Looks like a playbook, but we're gonna look at this playbook. Hold on, make sure I didn't skip. All right, let's get to this playbook. So, Crowdy's doctrine, which is the original Black Hebrew Israelite doctrine, this is what he says. Both Christian and Crowdy were both slaves in the South. Both became active clergy in the Baptist Church. Both were active Masons, incorporated Masonic symbolism in their movements. They utilized biblical references that place emphasis on racial harmony and vigorously opposed discrimination and racism, promoting a biracial church. Let's stop right here for a second. The original founders of said doctrine had white people a part of their church. They did not call them devils. They did not say anything of such. It wasn't invented yet because the need wasn't meant at that specific point for them. But let's keep moving. Both proclaimed Black genealogically descent from the original Israelites and taught that the biblical patriarchs, the Israelites and Jesus, were Black. Both placed emphasis on the 10 Commandments as it was mandated as social code. Both forbade wine for the Utra and taught that only unleavened bread should be used for the Holy Supper. Both made foot washing a mandated ceremony tradition. Christian referred to his churches as temples and Crowdy to his as tabernacles. Both stated that the truths which they taught had been made known to them through divine revelation. This is not oral tradition from West Africa. This is not their grandmother. This is not in their genealogy. This is nowhere to be found. It comes from the mind of Black men responding to white racism and supremacy. But let's keep reading. Let's go back a bit. This divine revelation of Mr. Crowdy, they told him, what does that mean? First, we want to talk about that. What does this divine revelation mean? According to this brother, he was at rest. He's walking around and something came to him and told him that this is the truth. You're going to teach the 7 keys. And he made this whole organization up. Now, inside of Crowdy's organization, he is practicing Pan-Africanism. He's practicing Black nationalism. And the first place that he sends people to is South Africa to deal with the incoming apartheid. The person he sent name was Albert Christian. So I want this clear. The first time people made a doctrine on Black people being Israelites were Freemasons. All of them were Christians. They all was a part of the church. They all had divine revelations, and they were Pan-Africanists and Black nationalists. Crowdy leaves a white person in charge of his church in Chicago. When he passes on, his next up runner would be a person named William Plummer. William Plummer creates in Virginia because the headquarters is moved to Virginia and is still there today, which is the oldest church of Hebrew Israelites in America. Not what you see on YouTube spamming, ISUPK is the truth, blah, 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 blah. Not your GMSs and your brown robes and all the other robes. Before all of these guys came on the scene, it was Mr. Crowdy. And his church is still there. And what did they build? What did William Plummer build? He built the Industrial Technical School. That's right. They built orphanages. He had the Church of God in Christ grocery store, Church of God in Christ newspaper, Church of God in Christ stores for clothing all through the neighborhoods. He also created something as a fraternity called the Daughters of Jerusalem. Yep. And the women had specific functions, what they would do, and they would do what? take care of the sick, the widows, which would be the men who would do that, and the women would take care of the elderly, the children, etc. These are the formations of systems that came from West Africa, such as Sandy and Poro, and you see those things developing hundreds of years before this individual came on the scene with your first Black organization, the African Union Society in 1780 in Rhode Island, your New York African Society in 1784, and your Free African Society in Philadelphia in 1787. He carries the fraternity with it. Just wanted to give you some more backdrop. Let's keep moving. Next one up, Prophet Cherry, Frank Cherry. So when you go on Wikipedia and it'll pull it up, it'll say Cherry, the oldest church, blah, 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 blah. You go try to find sources for that or look in newspapers. There's no incorporations. There's none of that. You don't see this person pop up really into the 30s. But let's keep reading. Prophet Frank Cherry has been described as a self-educated Black seaman, a railroad worker from the Deep South, an elderly dark brown man with mixed gray hair, a prominent mole on his chin. His exact origins are unknown, but by his own account, he was visiting in a foreign country far from his native land. When he had a vision, third person now, number 3, his grandmother didn't teach him this. His grandfather didn't teach him this. His great-grandmother didn't teach him this. No one came off the boat saying this. We got a pattern here, a vision, divine revelation. Let's keep reading. His exact origins are unknown, but by his own account, he was visiting in a foreign country from his native land when he had a vision in which he was designated to be a prophet and founded church. He returned to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and in 1886 found the Church of the Living God, later moving to Philadelphia, although no specific dates are mentioned. The founding date of 1886 is according to Cherry's own account. Landing and others point out this date is probably fabricated in order to assert the Church of God and Saints in Christ's claim to be the first Black Jewish group. All you have to do is use newspaper.com, pop this brother's name in. You don't find anything. You don't find nothing in 1886 in the newspapers. I looked through them. It doesn't exist. You look for Cherry, you can find him in all newspapers. He's all over the place. Let's keep reading. More crazy divine revelations. Another account stated that Prophet Cherry was sent personally by Christ in the personage of Prophet Elijah to lay down the foundations of the Church of the Living God and to be a successor to Father E.D. Smith, who have founded the group. Another Christian. You see the pattern here? Christians, divine revelations. Let's keep reading. Smith had actually founded a group known as the Triumph, the Church and Kingdom of God in Christ in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, after receiving divine revelations in 1897. God damn it. This is the fourth person. This is the fourth one, man. Divine revelations. Their grandmothers didn't teach them this. Their mother didn't teach them this. Their father didn't teach them this. Nobody came off the boat saying this. Where'd you get it from? Who was the first one saying this? Did we not point to you the Anglo-Israelism? Did we not just point out that they said that we were beasts? Did they not point out that Ham was a curse? Did they not say that we are the savages? They responded. Let's keep reading. Despite the fact that this message was not speeded to the earth until 1902 and opened to the world in 1904. I know where you heard that before, but we're not talking about him. About 1920, Father Smith left for Ethiopia and left Prince Allen in charge of the church until Prophet Cherry arrived. Prince Allen went before the congregation and said, "Here is the prophet." This was probably about 1920, although one account placed it as early as 1915. God damn. Let's keep reading. This book is called New Black Gods. You should get this book. It's very important. But as you can see, more damn Revelations. In Prophet Cherry's visions, it had been revealed to him that the Hebrews of the Old Testament were in reality black men whose descendants were the house of Israel, the present day black Jews. Although the only real Jews were and are blacks, not all blacks, either in biblical times or at the present, are Jews. All mankind was black until the days of Isaac and the births of Esau and Jacob. Here is the origin of that. This man, let's keep reading. Esau's birthright was not stolen, but purchased by Jacob. The descendants of Esau became red or white people, hated by God. And its descendants of Jacob became beloved by God. Only blacks who can trace their lineage through the tribe of Jacob or Israel were real Jews. Only Cherry was called to identify the true Israelites, since only he knew. Hold on. So, wait a minute. Let's back up here a little bit. Let's back up. Only blacks who can trace their lineage through the tribe of Jacob, Israel, are real Jews. Who's tracing a person to a mythical person? There is no Jacob. There is none. Change name to Israel. All of the scientists or the scholars of the day, they wrote about this. They wrote about the patriarchs and the historicity of such. How are you tracing this back? Why did you have to get a divine revelation, Cherry? Why didn't your mother tell you this? How about your grandmother? Why didn't your grandfather? Isn't that the way genealogy works? Very interesting. And only he could tell you who's an Israelite, but he does something else. Let's keep reading about this guy. The Church of God subscribed to a dispensationalist theology popular among many evangelical Christian groups of the period. Cherry and his followers believe that history has been divided into 2,000-year periods, corresponding to God's covenants with humanity and described in biblical texts. The first dispensation was the flood and God's covenant with Noah. The second was Jesus' birth. And the final, the millennium, signaled by the rapture and second coming of Jesus. 6,000 years. Yeah, you heard that from somewhere before, but we're not talking about that. Cherry employed the commonly used millennial text of the Revelation to describe the Battle of Armageddon in Palestine, a battle that precedes the Israelites' return to their land. Cherry demanded patience until the reign of the Gentile whites ended. Cherry also taught that 70 AD is the date that Jews left from Palestine to West Africa. But he's not the origin of that. He's close, but I'm going to show you where that came from. He's not the origin, but we're going to get to that at the end of the presentation. But he, Mr. Cherry, is the one who told you that in the year 2000 is when this Armageddon is going to begin. 1998, UPK gets on their soapboxes in the street with their garbs and they scream to the top of their lungs at the year 2000 it's going to end. This is a connection. This is where you got it from. Don't hate your lineage. There's too much rubbish and talk going around the internet about this. We're not going to do that today. We're going to give you the actual facts. Next up is Rabbi Arnold Josiah Ford. Same book on the side. If this video gets seen, I hope Kyrie Irving grabs the book. Maybe Kanye will pick it up. You need to pick it up. Don't look at these YouTube videos. You can look at them, but look at the references. Look at what is being told. Not because it feels good and you want to be the chosen. Rabbi Josiah Arnold Ford. The effusion of West Indians into Harlem after World War I brought with it two leaders who would help establish a stream of Black Judaism that, while still incorporating a heterodox mix of theosophy, conjuring, African-American folk wisdom and healing practices, and Freemasonry, had less pronounced Christian elements and more emphasis on the rituals and worship of conventional Judaism. West Indians Arnold, Josiah Ford, and Wentworth Arthur Matthew each collaborated with African Americans in Harlem and attracted followers of both African American and West Indian backgrounds to their versions of Black Judaism. Beginning in the 1920s, Ford was a 33-degree Freemason and was a member of the Master of Memnon Lodge number 51 of a local branch of the Scottish Rite Masons. In the Garvey movement and his Masonic lodge, Ford met people interested in Black Israelite ideas, including a Jamaican-born former seaman named Samuel Ballantyne, Bishop St. John de Bon, and a peddler by the name of Mordecai Herman. Herman spoke some Yiddish and sold Jewish liturgical items in Jewish neighborhoods in New York. He started an Israelite Masonic organization variously known as the Moorish Zionist Movement for the Cusham Congregation in July 1921. I know you like to hear the date of 1913 in Noble Jewah. That's not just true. There it is right there, which lasted only 1 year. Ford became involved with Herman as a business partner, and then they collaborated with Ballantyne by holding classes in Hebrew language and Israelite history every Sunday at Garvey's Liberty Hall. This is interesting. In the middle of all of this, Marcus Garvey is directly in the middle. Marcus Garvey is the conduit with the biggest organization of Black people in the America for the coming of Islam in the Black community, as well as the Hebrew doctrine in the Black community. The Liberty Hall was in Harlem. That's right. Right there in the smack on the 130th. I believe it's 135th to 137th, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, y'all can go check me on it. But that Liberty Hall had that whole entire block. What did Mr. Ford say? Mr. Ford says that Hebrew and Israelite rather than Jew helped to carve out an autonomous identity separate from white Jews. He said, we are Africans. He declared in bold three-word sentence. Ford used the category of race, but not to signify skin color or geographical origin, but rather culture and human virtues evolved through generations of obedience to certain laws, statutes, and traditions. This is Mr. Ford, right here. Shemans. We're going to look at his theology and we're going to talk a little bit about him. We're going to go in, we're going to talk about this brother in a second. So Rabbi Ford's theological depths are esoteric and Islamic religious practitioners active during the Harlem Renaissance with whom he had come into contact through the Garvey movement can be seen in the fact that he integrated some Islamic practices such as the observance of the feast of Ramadan along with Jewish ones. Well, how are you doing Ramadan? Where'd you get this from, Mr. Ford? We're going to find out. According to an early account, it was through the Garvey movement that Ford had become friendly with these voodoo men and glorifiers of Mohammedanism. But we want to look at some primaries. So before we get into this document, which I obtained from the Schomburg on 135th, we call that the Black Hall of Justice. When you want all answers found, Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, go to the Schomburg Museum on 135th Street and Lenox Avenue. All of your answers of who Black people are, who they were, where they came from, is written by themselves. In any event, Mr. Ford is responsible for helping write, we would call the song, or I would call it the song for Mr. Garvey. He actually didn't get paid for his work. Some people like to spread the rumor that he wanted to make everybody Black Hebrew Israelites, and Garvey didn't want to deal with religion, blase, so they kicked him out. No, the man didn't pay him, and he sued him, and he actually won. That's another story. But he, Mr. Ford, made an organization and took black people to Africa. He took them to Ethiopia. And we're going to read about this right here. Let's look at the black Jew. This is to Rabbi W.A. Matthews. So our brother, Mr. Ford, is the one who ordained Mr. Matthews, and we'll learn about him later, who is the leader or the founder of the Commandment Keepers. Right? Where's this from? You see the letter on the top, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, June 5th, 1931. How does he open up? Dear Mr. Rabbi Matthews, greeting to yourself, your family, and your congregation, and the blessings of Allah. What is it? Is it Yahweh? Is it Allah? I don't know. Let's just keep reading. I have sent you by post registered your certificate of ordination, so you don't think Rob Bourne is making up stories. Have Brother Elder Phillips or Brother Elder Payne sign it, and then you may frame it. Indeed, I have sent it for the safety directly to you, but I am writing the congregation and asking them to deliver it officially to you in public gathering. This is more in keeping with our ritualistic procedure, and indeed the psychological effects would benefit everyone. Then he's breaking down Arabic explanation, Arabic Bismillah ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the beneficent and the merciful. All right, let's go on the next page. My dear brother, let's go back to our brother letter. If I ever need your help, it is now. I need a representative in all America, a strong and determined character. I hope you will fill this bill for me. I will give you full authority to represent us in America. His most excellent majesty, Haile Selassie, the second emperor, king of kings of Ethiopia, his highness Ras Kasta, his highness Ras Halu, and his excellency Kintaba Garu. God bless them all. They are a wonderful people. They are with you all for good. Are you with them? Then work. Tell your people to work. Build large farms and homes here. Prepare to settle in the most wonderfully beautiful and the richest climate on earth. We have the land, not bought given. We need money for building and development. Do wake up. The most wonderful gentleman of ancient Ethiopia wants to see what Ethiopian America is going to do for the development of modern Ethiopia. Write to the Your Highness, sometimes write nice, intelligent letters. Write His Excellency Kintaba. Mention my name. Let every member write Kintaba. Just thank him for his kind work in your behalf. In any event, you look at the Hebrew Israelites today and they say, fuck Africa. Fuck the heathens. Fuck them savages. They sold the Hebrews into the Americas. But the founders, all the way going back to who? To William Saunders Crowdy, sending people to Africa. They not saying fuck Africa. The only person who came with this 70 AD was your boy, Frank Cherry. But we're going to talk about where he got that from. But let's keep going. Oh, we're not going to that. Ford back to Africa. With the support of the hundreds of members of his Anatol Club, Ford and 3 followers left for Ethiopia, carrying a formidable petition to the Emperor Haile Selassie. So he goes there, and things don't go too well. They're not getting the land that they were supposed to get. And they found a form of racism that they had here in America, and the Ethiopians wasn't trying to rock with them. But that's another story for another time. Now, you saw that these early movements are mixing Freemasonry, Christianity, Pentecostalism, esoteric science. We're going to get to that, and a whole bunch of other jargon. Now, when you deal with this Morris Zion's Temple, there is another one. So this is also from the Schomburg, A History of the Negro Jew. You can see right here on the right. It says the first Jewish congregation in the United States was founded in 1899. What does that mean? They're talking about that does not deal with the Christian doctrine or anything dealing with other denominations, strictly Jewish, no Freemasonry, no none of that stuff in there. The person who founded this was a person named Rabbi Leon Richlieu. He claimed to have been born in Ethiopia. Richelieu's temple was known as the Morris Zion Temple. This is prior to the one of Ford's and the other individual. The members of the congregation were both Negro and white. Richelieu received his ordination from 3 recognized rabbis in the United States. Although he never applied for membership in the New York Board of Rabbis, the most interesting part of Richelieu's story, both Arnold Ford and Wentworth Matthew were members of his congregation. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's getting deeper. We're warming up. We're getting to the bottom of this. Where are you getting this stuff from? But let's keep reading. When they approached him and asked to become rabbis, he turned them down. He said that neither was fit to be a rabbi. So who ordained Rabbi Ford? The mystery continues. We're going to talk about our brother here, Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthew, the founder of the Commandment Keepers, who then later breaks off to 7 heads, and you have your UPKs and all these other individuals running around. Yep. Rabbi Matthew founded one of the best known and longest lasting Black Israelite traditions in 1919 and created an esoteric, centric faith, much like Father Hurley's, another individual. Matthew was influenced by Ford, and his faith bore more outward resemblance to Jewish practices. But the content of the faith was a diverse mix of Freemasonry, Judaism, Black Israelism, Theosophy, New Thought, Conjuring, Jewish mythicism, Kabbalah, and holiness Pentecostal Christianity. Woo! He put it all together. He studied theology in Harlem and was ordained as a minister, founding the Commandment Keepers Church of the Living God and pillar and ground of truth in 1919. Like Black Israelites before him, Matthew created a Masonic auxiliary of his congregation, launching the Royal Order of Ethiopian Hebrews, the sons and daughters of the culture. So now, when you look at this lineage, you got to where'd you get fuck Africa? Where the fuck did Africa come from? I don't know. Let's keep reading. In 1924, the Royal Order used Masonic forms to transmit Matthew's Black Israelite teachings, and this became an important means to increase the organization's visibility and spread its message to lodges across the country. Again, this comes from the microfilm from collections in the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. An article written for the New York Sun in 1929 states that a sign above the doorway of the Commandment Keepers read, Bishop A.W. Matthews. Another sign inside the temple said, people prepare to meet thy God. Jesus saves. And stained glass windows of the temple had a cross. What are you? You a Jew? Are you Christian? What are you doing? Let's keep reading. I have this titled Magic Nigger Brew. That's what this is. Sorry. Magic Nigger Brew. Matthew studied conjuring in Virginia and used the Kabbalistic grimoire of the 6th and 7th books of Moses. Whoa. The 6th and 7th books of Moses. Well, I'll be damned. What did he do? He created Hebrew spells and magical diagrams that would compel God to enter his body and fill him with God's power. The belief in God manifesting inside the individual was what was most distinctively Jewish about the theology of the 1920 Black Israelites. Where'd he get this stuff from? Let's see what other magic this guy was doing. He could become invisible. In the 1930s, their congregation was the oldest remaining Israelite synagogue in New York, a holdover from the First World War years, and it included former members, rabbis for the congregation. On the evening after Friday night service had concluded, Matthew turned to a dozen worshippers in the audience and began speaking on the familiar theme of his magical abilities. Turning to Brother William, Matthew asked for corroboration that he had made himself invisible with a wave of the hand. I want this clear. The lineage of the Hebrew Israelites groups that you see today come from Batman. And what could he do? Let's read it again. He said he made himself invisible with the wave of the hand. The person said, yes, you did, corroborated Brother William. I saw you disappear with my own eyes. Immediately, the rest of the worshippers, all women, rose from their seats and shouted ecstatically, hallelujah, the Lord loves our teacher. Let us sing Adon Olam, the rabbi roared. Let us sing so that all our enemies will know that we are the chosen sons and daughters of Jehovah. But we're not done yet. Here from the Schomburg Research Center is a picture of this magical diagram. You see the E-Chad is written on the top. You can see it. But a square diagram, Wentworth, a Matthews Collections manuscript. You can see that. The next one is the Table of Fire from William D. Lawrence, the 6th and 7th book of Moses. For those who are new to the channel, all you have to do is look at the video we have on Overdue Ali, and you will find out the influence of Mr. William D. Lawrence on the Black community with his magic and his hoodoo. And that's coming straight from the white man. No one came off the boat telling you this. No one came over here with the 6th and 7th books of Moses. Oh, man. In any event, we're going to look at the amulets. The two amulets shed light on Matthew's esoteric theology, part of the secret knowledge of their heart of his Black Israelite belief. Matthew wrote several phrases in fractured Hebrew on a diagram, the top one of which can be translated, rise and give me good luck. Just below the median line, the Hebrew can be translated within the 8th fire, you should give me life. And the bottom line would read either the 8th God should be my father, or the 8th God, my father. At the simplest level, this diagram appears to be a good luck charm. But at a deeper level, this amulet amplifies and expands on Matthew's theology. In later decades, Matthews taught that there were 7 spirits or elements of God and 12 heavens, which his daughter explicated in the Congregational newspaper in 1965. Do you know how few of us, the Black Jews, know that God is wind, water, fire, life, light, power, and mind? This is God, the 7 elements. Each one of these elements are all gods among themselves, but the creator of these, the one ruler of these, is the one and only. He is the God. He is in us, out of us, and is all about us. And without him, we wouldn't exist. Without any of these gods, we would not exist. Ooh, they dropping bars. They spitting bars. Spitting bars, man. But in any event, it gets deeper. So here is one of his letters from the Schomburg. You know, we deal with the primaries over here. See it on the top? See the little G on the bottom? See on the right here, it says Matthews. I'm reading the file. And it says the Royal Order of the Ethiopian Hebrews. You see it, 30 West, 129th Street. That's right. There's some other letters that I haven't shown yet. And it's very interesting. I'm going to save that for another topic because Danny made sure that I screenshotted every last one of those letters. He was like, no, you're reading too fast. Get that one, this one, that one, this one, get all of them. He made sure I got them all. But, you know, it's interesting that I'm just going to just say this. When Martin Luther King is assassinated, this brother is doing something very interesting. He makes himself the leader of the Falashas worldwide. And I'm going to save that for another story. In any event, here is the membership card, primary, the Royal Order of Ethiopian Hebrews. See it there? It's right there, written in front of you. So we're going to move out of those people and we're going to look at some European records. Here is a book called The Jews and Negro Slavery in the Old South. Will the Real Jew Please Stand Up? 1789 to 1865. This is what they say. It says, we do have the help of religious affiliation in our investigation of the question. What is the question? Black Jews. Since Jewish congregations would not accept Negro members, the Richmond congregation required that its members be free, and the Charleston Beth Elohim Constitution of 1820 accepted proselytes only if he or she or they are not people of color. Interesting. There is only one reference to a Jewish Negro in all of the Southern Jewish records. A free man of color who was converted to Judaism by his master and was accustomed to attending services at the Charleston Synagogue in 1857 during the tenure of Rabbi Maurice Meyer. And that person name is Billy Simons, or however you would like to pronounce it. But we saw something here. They alluded to his master being a slave to this person, and this guy claimed he was a Rechabite. We're not going into that. But yeah, the Rechabites in America, very interesting. Anyway, let's move on down. This is from the book Southern Families at War, Loyalty and Conflict in a Civil War, Jews in the South. What is clear, however, is that though the numbers must have been incremental, some slaves who were owned by Jewish families considered themselves Jewish. That these slaves ever formally converted to Judaism in a ceremony that would have met the exacting rabbinic criteria for conversion is unlikely. That they nonetheless may have received some instruction in matters of Jewishness from their masters, or more frequently, mistress, is not improbable. This is a theme that happens all throughout the Americas. All throughout the Americas, the common denominator is that these people, families, they are slaves to Jewish people. That is the common denominator. Come on and try me. Now, real Jews enslaved blacks. You hear me? You heard me. Real Jews enslaved blacks. Oh, my battery's dying on my computer. On the right, this comes from the same book. This is called Judah P. Benjamin's Plantation House. Photographed, 1947. New Orleans Author Collection. We don't got to put bifocals on to find them. We don't got to put them on. Let's keep reading. Real Teaching Jews Slave Records. Let's blow them up. Let's take a look. Auctioners' Private Sales. Time-Filled Negroes and House Servants by B. Mordecai. Tom, 25 years of age, superior coachman and house servant. John, 22 years of age, superior coachman and house servant. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Charleston Courier, January 1st, 1857. Let's go to the next one. Committed to the jail of Pottawon County of the 3rd day of April, a Negro woman who calls herself Jenny. She says she was raped raised by W.M. Garbright of the country of Henrico. So this caught me off guard because when you read in old things, the F is really a S. So it looks like it. So I had to put my 1800 mind back on. In any event, it says who told who who sold her to Mr. Fluffer, the butcher of Richmond, and by him sold to one Williamon, who sold her to one Webster of Buckingham, who sold her to a Mr. John Campbell of King and Queens County, who left her at Louis XIV, the free Negro of this country, from which last place they eloped. She appears to be about the age of 16 or 17, is very black, and has lost some of her upper four teeth. The owner is defied to come and prove his property. Who is the person who is putting out this ad? Moses and Cardovo. Let's keep reading. Here's a bill of sale by S. Cohen. Right here. You see it. This is a primary. So these are the people who are the Jews that you say you want to be, but you say those are the fake people, but we don't see no one calling themselves any of this until the 1800s to after the Exodusters movement. And if you try to get slick with your Israel Hill, they were all part of the church. They were all eating pork, and it was a social experiment done by white people. And if you want to get even more slick when you look at the Exodusters movement, which is the first mass migration of black people leaving from the South to coming to the West, they called things their promised land. Kansas was the promised land. Whatever freedom was the promised land because they looked at the story and saw it was symbolic. Oh, Harriet Tubman was an Israelite. They called her Moses. Really? She was a part of the AME church. Stop it. You need more people. Just keep going. So we want to go to Mr. Lebogala. So I'm going to pull out of here for a second. We're going to stop sharing for a minute. Let me see what's going on in the chat. I hope y'all alive. I hope you guys are feeling well. I hope you good. But we want to talk about this 70 AD shit. It's about to get ugly up in here. Where did shit come from, bro? I got you. Hold on. Let me grab the other one. Let me grab my other one. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I'm opening up another joint. Gotta make sure we got all the we gotta have everything right and exact. Can't be jumping out the window. You know what I'm saying? So where did it go? What's the name of that thing? Where is it? Oh, I put it over there. All right, I gotta look in my Google Drive. My bad. I got y'all. Give me a second. Hope y'all doing good out there. Hope I'm not hurting no feelings. No, I do want to hurt feelings because this is getting out of control. This is getting crazy. There is a historical origin to these movements, and we got to talk about them. Oh, Google Drive. I'm waiting for it to load back up. I got the spinning wheel of death here. Y'all got to work with me. The spinning wheel of death. But we want to talk about an individual. And then we're going to go to my newspapers. And this is who these people are, man. I'm not making this stuff up. You know, I could go into my Kindle and show you some more stuff. But yeah, we're going to do all of that. We're going to do it all. All right, sign in. All right, I'm locked in. Now, what is the name of this thing here? I think it's called the Moor Slayer. We're going to get to the Moor, St. James the Moor. All right, we got it. All right, be ready. Let's roll. All right, 3, 2, 1, and blast off. Bang. We in the building. Okay, you could disregard all of these slides, but we're going to go down to here. So this guy here, Tudor Parfit, he writes a book, Black Jews in America. But we want to look at this guy right here. This man here name is Lobogala, an African savage owned story. It says Henry Siddle Canby and Dashiell Hammett in a favorable review in the Time magazine observed a black man but a Jew. He is a native of the Andu Bush hinterland of Dahomey in West Africa. His people, according to legend, left Palestine after Rome and Titus sacked Jerusalem in 70 AD, whereupon they fled to Morocco, to Timbuktu, and farther. There, swallowed up by African natives, they still remained a Jewish sect and continued Jewish rites. Yes, yes, we gonna get you on this 70 AD shit. Now, pioneering anthropologist R. Marriott, the leader of the social anthropology Exeter College at Oxford, who virtually founded anthropology as a university subject in Great Britain, co-signed this story. In 1911, Lobogala gave a talk at Exeter College on fetishism, which he recalled made a hit, and in the same year was a living exhibit at the University of Pennsylvania. Let's keep reading. His book was full of remarkable, we got to put this big. His book was full of remarkable details about the Jews of the Andu Bush and his own adventures. In Andu, the naked Jews spoke a dialect of Arabic, mixed a great deal of Hausa, Yoruba, and Benga vernaculars. His book explained how, as a result of some extraordinary mishaps, Bagala finished up in Scotland, where he stayed for a while learning English. I want you to remember this. Remember this. He goes to Scotland. Remember this. Time magazine, which did not seem to have any difficulty believing to the account of the Jews on the Andu Bush, described Lobogala as a kind of elderly black Marx brother, short, stocky, gleaming eyed with a black mustache, frizzy white hair, and concluded he looked stout like Jew and blackface. Yes. Mr. True Historian gave you that real history yesterday and the day before on that. But let's keep reading. It appears that Lobogala was taken seriously by most people at the time. He traveled the world dressed up in a past African costume, bare chest, adorned with many necklaces, featuring in ethnographic exhibitions that were popular at the time, and instructing urban students of anthropology about the savage and the exotic life he had known at first hand in his native Andu. But something happens. His real biography was somewhat more mundane. His actual name was Joseph Howard Lee, and he had been born to a dirt poor African American family in Baltimore. Rabon, but that's just in the book. This is in the early 30s. I want you to remember the date of the book, Hebrewisms in West Africa, that they like to use from a person who never went to Africa. I want you to remember that book and what it was used for by one of the people that was in cahoots with the British, this King Pempe individual who went to all of the tribes of the Akan, and the first part of the book, which became the last part, the origin of the Akan, he used the Hebrewisms in West Africa and didn't use the natives' oral traditions. But that's another story. We're going to talk to Lobogala. We going in on Lobogala. Lobogala. He's going under the... This is the shit you follow. I hope you're watching, Kyrie. This is what they got you into, man. This shit cost you 500 million, Kanye. You should have came to each one, teach one. We got that. We got the shit for you. Now, we're in newspapers.com. Okay, we don't want to see Muhammad science. We don't want to see none of that. Egyptian adepts, Delaware Moors, no. No, we don't want that. We don't want no Sebi. Let's keep rolling, scrolling. You're gonna find it. Hold on, it'll pop up soon. Or how do I have to pop it up? Blah blah blah. Ford Muhammad. Blah 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 blah. Give me a second, y'all. Roll with me. We gonna find out about Lobagala. Oh man. Oh, here we go. We almost there. Hold on. Damn. Voodoo culture, community, boom, 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 boom. Ah, man, I think I should have typed it in. I got too many newspaper clippings. Oh, here we go. Got him. Got him. All right, which one I want? Oh, let's do this one. Here's your man, Labogala. Let's make it bigger. Labogala has a long record. And this is, we'll find a newspaper on the bottom. He served 18 months in Sing Sing on immorality charges. Say what? A lengthy criminal record was revealed today for Ibn Labagala, African Bushman lecturer author who is now in the county jail here awaiting a hearing in the county court on Thursday on charges of immorality preferred against him by two Kennesaw boys. So this guy like touching little boys. Let's keep reading. Labogala has been in jail here since Friday night, unable to put up $2,500 bonds for his release. In the meantime, several lecture engagements in Shebayan have had to be canceled because of his inability to appear. The jail record begins in London in 1925, according to the record of the Ohio State Department of Criminal Identification, which was forwarded by airmail to Chief John T. Sullivan here. Bogala's picture and fingerprints have been sent out by Robert A. Deschenu, local police identification bureau man here. Reports that in London in 1911, La Bagala was sentenced to a term of 4 months at hard labor at the East Ham Police Court for larceny. At that time, he called himself Angaza. Even Scotland Yard and Pro. Remember, I told you to remember Scotland. Told you to remember Scotland. So this is the Kenosha News, 13, 1933. Even Scotland Yard and Pro. In 1925, he was sentenced to serve 12 months in prison in England for an incident assault on two 15-year-old boys. In 1925, also Scotland Yard became interested in La Bagala and investigated his record, which was brought up to the date at that time. The records then advanced to 1927, when La Bagala, known then as Paul La Bagala, was given 30 days in a workhouse on a charge of impairing the morale of a minor that was in New York City. On June 13, 1930, 3 years ago today, he was arrested by New York police for the same offense alleged in the council charges against him. No disposition of that case is recorded in the information from the Ohio State Bureau. 6 months later, on January 9th, 1931, La Bagala was received at the Sing Sing prison in New York for a term of 1 year and 6 months. Upon his release from his prison in 1932, he resumed his lecture tour. This motherfucker, 70 AD, Dahomey Jews, La Bagala. That's not it. I'm not done with you. We're not done. We got some more. There's your dude. Let's get another one. Let me give you another one. Here. Let's get another one. What date is this? What date is this? This is December 3rd, 1914. What does this say? Linguistic expert passed as a Hebrew. Chicago, December 1st. a young Negro from the South speaking 22 languages. According to his claims, Frederick Douglass Burger has been posing among the Jews of the West Side as a black Hebrew under the name of David Hitchcock. And it is said that he was so clever in backing up his claims that many of the prominent Jews of these cities were deceived. He might have gone on without exposure if he had not been arrested for criminal assault. The charge being made by Clara Merriweather, a 14-year-old girl living at 4058 South Federal Street, who is the mother of a child resembling Berger. He claims that it was his intention to teach the girl Hebrew and then marry her, that she might aid him in the deception which he was practicing. He was arrested in 1913, and the case finally came to the court of Judge McDonald, who discovered the impostor. Berger's parents are said to be Mr. and Mrs. John Thomas Berger, living now in 1822 Elm Street. Yo, I'm gonna stop. This could keep going and going. I could keep going with this. We could keep going with this. But I was having a little fun. I was turned up. But what you see from the inception of the Black Hebrew Israelites in America is a response to white supremacy and the search for identity, and utilizing fraternities such as Freemasonry, different forms of Christianity to combat it. When you see the original Black Hebrew Israelites, they are Black nationalists. They are building things in the community. They are building orphanages, homes, industrial centers, which you don't hear the Black Hebrew Israelites talk about today. This is what they were doing, and that was the response. That is no different than the Asiatic black man claim. You have people looking to escape the stigma of being a Negro by adopting exotic headwear such as turbans, such as fezzes, such as I'm a Moroccan scientist, I am the Shabazite, I am the Asiatic, whatever commander of the Astral Command. All of these things were brought forth by Black people to escape Jim Crow and to battle white supremacy. However, some of these people were scam gods, such as the Bogala. And Kanye West, the scam cost you 600 million. Kyrie, you turned around and you kissed the ring and they still slapped you up. If you want the truth, be on some death row shit over here. Come to Each One Teach One, where we not lying to you, where we are not just picking out little things. We're showing you the whole truth, the primaries, and nothing but the truth. So if you want to stop being lied about and you want to know the history of Black America and why these new religions came out, come to Each One Teach One. This is where the truth lives. With that, I might put the link in the chat and open it up. We the death row of Black American history. And yeah, I'll put the link in the chat if anybody feels like they want to join. Anybody got any questions, comments, and concerns, you could come on up. Come on in to the West Side, baby. You are not a Hebrew Israelite. You are a Hebrew Israelite by faith. All right, we got the link in the chat. Hit the Cash App, Rob Bourne. You know what it is. If you like the information, please let me know. So the link is in the chat. Let's see. I want to thank the people. Each One Teach One is the death row of Black American history. Come to Each One Teach One when you want to escape the Commission Wars. Come to Each One Teach One when you want to escape the nigger brews. Come to Each One Teach One when you have heard the names that we talked about for, I don't know, 5 years. You heard the name Mordecai. You heard that name. We gave you the truth. We gave it to you. Yo, Kamu said, Hebrew Elevation Church, it's your time to shine. All right, peace, Sister Foxy. Peace, Jesus Christ. We scam you with truth. Scam God University. Peace to District 120. Y'all miss you, my brother. Peace to the God. Peace to Taban Seven Allah. Peace to the people. Ain't nobody hitting this link, bro. The link is in the chat. They're not hitting this link. They not hitting it. So if they not gonna hit the link, I'm gonna go in some more. Fuck it. We gonna go do. I'm gonna put some more stuff up on the screen. Hold on. Let me go to my Kindle. So these things do. I'm having fun, but these things do have historical context to it. You can go deeper into West Africa. You can go into that. You can go into these things. But let's see. We got a person named Yahuda who wants to add on to the build. I accepted you. You can unmute your mic.
Yo,
Peace.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Peace. You got to turn your YouTube off. There's an echo in the back.
Yeah, I'll turn it off. So it's Hebrew Elevation, yeah, but my name's Yehuda.
All right, peace. What do you want to build about on the information that you saw today?
So yeah, I just wanted to build on the point of, Black people being the descendants of the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible.
Okay, so out of the information that you heard about the origin of Black Hebrew Israelites in America and the Doctrine, what do you have to combat that?
Well, yeah, the information that you brought forth, it wasn't very compelling for me because my faith isn't built upon what these men have established. Personally, when I've read the Bible, that's what's brought me to the knowledge of being an Israelite. I was ignorant to the One West doctrine, the various factions of Hebrews in America. It's something that I organically experienced from reading the Bible myself, reading the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, along with various other scriptures. So your whole premise is basically trying to disprove that the Israelites are a legitimate, faith based on these men, but my faith hasn't come from these men. So how would you explain that?
Deuteronomy 20:68. So you saying that you came to that understanding on your own. You never read a book about it. You never saw a video about it. You just automatically knew that was Black people.
So I can tell you let's see. Yeah, my mic's off mute. So yeah, the process that helped me to discern that the Israelites were, myself and other Black people, it wasn't from what I'd viewed on YouTube. I actually started reading the Bible in the book in 2016. And what I learned in the Bible in the book of Genesis, chapter 10 and verse 6, it tells you that the ancient Egyptians were brothers to the Cushites, which is like the ancient Sudanese, the Ethiopians, the Kenyans. So from that, I understood that, the Cushites are Black, meaning the Egyptians must also be Black. And there's many instances in the scripture where we see the Hebrews were mistaken for Egyptians. For example, in Genesis chapter 42 and verse 8, as I'm sure you're aware, there was a famine in the land of Canaan. Joseph was a slave in Egypt. He became
Yeah. Hold on. You're going too far now, brother.
Yeah, go on.
There's no Joseph, there's no Abraham, nobody that you might as well stop that. What I want you to do.
How can you prove that, though? You just said that, but how can you prove that?
Hold on. We can get to that. I want to stick to the conversation topic. Where in the information do you have where Black people in the slave trade are saying that they are Hebrew Israelites and practicing that culture?
I'm not.
Where is that at?
I'm not aware of any Black slaves that said that because I've not researched the slave trade in depth like that. I researched the Bible, so I've not looked.
Yeah. I get your theory Bible thing. I get all. Where are you from?
I'm from the UK.
You from the UK?
Yeah.
Very interesting. So you're from that area. So
yeah.
Okay, I got you. So when you're looking at this, right, and you're looking at the history of the slave trade in England or in Europe in that aspect, how do those people look to you? Like, what is the teaching? What is the history of Black people where you're from?
So yeah, the history of Black people from where I'm from, there was something called the Windrush. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but
that's late, bro.
Yeah, during like World War II, that's when my grandparents came over here from like
Jamaica. Yeah. I'm just talking about in general. That's too late. I'm talking about 1500s. I'm talking about that time period. I'm talking about when black people went over there. I'm talking about that. Do you
mean
have
when they
any
were taken to
information on that?
Jamaica, when they were taken to the Caribbean, Americas? That's what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about where you from. Like in the UK, we're gonna just deal with Europe because that's Europe. So let me ask you a question. Are you familiar where the first black people went when they were taken from Africa?
There's various different places. It could have been Portugal. Depends, who took you and where they took you. Could have
Right.
been the Caribbean, the
Right.
Americas, mainly
Right.
Brazil. South
Right.
America.
Right. Right. I get it. But in the historical record, where is the place where they took people?
Like I said, brother, it was all over the places I just mentioned. So what are you getting at?
What I'm getting at is the first place that they are taking to is Lisbon, and in the
Yeah.
15, just in the what you mean 1440s. So this comes from the Chronicles of Zuera. So when you're talking about the origin of the slave trade, you see that those Europeans defeat the Moors in 1415 on the island of Suada, and then they go out looking for somebody. They're looking for this mythical figure named Prester John, and they want to find this person because they believe this person has gold. And then they come across the Western or Rio de Oro, which is dealing with the coasters of Northwest Africa, and they capture some people. And one of the people that they capture is Ada Moor. This person then begins to negotiate his release and basically tells them about the caravan routes and all of these things. That's the beginning of the slave trade. But there's a reason I asked you that. So I'm going to pull a screen up and I want to show you the Jews that are in this area at this time frame. And I want you to tell me what
Right.
is it that
Before you ask me this question, let me just say something, right? The thing
uh-huh.
about the Jews, right? We'd have no
Uh-huh.
idea of a nation of Israel or Jews. We wouldn't even be having this conversation without the Bible. So the Bible actually gives a criteria of what makes somebody a Jew.
Oh no. You
Let
having
me
this
let me just
Oh,
make the point.
brother, hold on,
I'm gonna land in 10 seconds. It's a very
Okay,
short
land in
point.
10 seconds. Go ahead, man.
Okay, I'll be concise. So the
Yeah,
Bible
get
gives a very
concise with it.
distinctive criteria of what makes somebody a Jew. Now, me reading the Bible distinctly and paying
Yeah.
diligent attention to that
Uh-huh.
criteria is what has drawn me to this conclusion. It's not necessary for me to go into secular sources, right? I have a general knowledge of what has happened in history, and the Bible itself makes it very clear who the Jews are.
Yo, hold on. So now you're saying the Bible's a history book. Where in the Bible does it talk about West Africa?
Yeah, I can show you.
Go ahead. Where's West Africa in the Bible?
Okay, that's great.
Come on.
So
We're waiting for this. We're waiting for this groundbreaking moment here.
Okay, let's break some ground, brother. Bridging the gap. Let's go.
Yeah.
Zephaniah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you ready?
What?
Zephaniah chapter 3 and 8. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. So it reads Zephaniah, the book of Zephaniah in the Bible, right? All right. So Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 10, it says, "From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering." So the Bible says that the daughter of God's dispersed, meaning the Israelites that have been dispersed, are beyond the rivers of Cush. When we look beyond the rivers of Cush, we see Central Africa, we see Congo, we see, going further, we see West Africa.
We're not doing that.
So this
No,
would, qualify that region
brother.
that you're
Hold on.
mentioning. It
Yo,
doesn't say
Mike
it
Tech.
distinctly,
Who's
but
this?
this is the
So
region
hold
that
on,
is
bro.
speaking of through the scripture.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah, go on.
That's not West Africa. That's not that. Again, yo, hold
is
on,
West
bro. Wait a
Africa
minute,
beyond
man.
the
Yo,
rivers of
bro, you
Cush?
gotta hold on, brother.
All
Hold
right.
on, relax, brother.
All right, go
I
for it.
asked you, where do they mention West Africa? Where's any tribe of West Africa? Where is the Euro? Where's these people at? Where's that in the book? It's not there. Then you bring up.
Now you're adding to your
Hold on, man.
question, brother. Now you're adding
I
to
get
it.
it. You did, and you didn't answer. So now we
No,
moving. Hold on, man.
let's strip it back. Come on,
Brother,
calm
hold
down,
on,
bro.
bro. Brother,
You're very
listen,
agitated. Let's just build.
listen, brother. Listen. There is no West Africa mentioned in the book. No nation in West Africa is mentioned in that book. You then mentioned Deuteronomy 28:68. Then at the end of the y'all forget the end of the verse. It
What
says
is beyond the
no.
rivers of Ethiopia? Let me just ask you a question. Is
What's
West
beyond the
Africa?
visits of Ethiopia? What
Yeah,
is beyond them? And what direction?
yeah.
What direction?
So, so,
There's no
so,
direction there. What
so
are you
where are
talking
the rivers
about?
of Ethiopia? Yeah,
Bro,
because
listen, man.
obviously, it's opposed to Ethiopia, so it's beyond Ethiopia. So
Nah,
what's
brother,
on
we
the
not
other
doing
side
that.
of
We not
Ethiopia?
doing that. We not doing the
All right.
guess games. And then we don't really know what kush they're talking about
Oh,
there. So
brother,
that's
I'm gonna
another
respectfully
conversation.
allow you to speak.
Bro, but listen,
Just allow
no,
me to
man,
speak
mute
one
your
second.
mic, bro. Listen. Mute your mic. Listen, I'm not here to play with you about the Bible. I need you to tell me and show us where is the people, your grandmother, your grandfather, or your lineage teaching you that you're a black Hebrew Israelite, fam. Where is that culture at? If you can't show me that, I don't want to talk. That's all I'm here for. Nothing else. All of your cush games and playing with Genesis and all, I'm not doing none of that with you tonight, fam.
Okay,
I
well,
want you to show
if
me
you
the
can't
black
deal with
people
the Bible, you're
practicing the
gonna
culture.
struggle to dialogue with Hebrew Israelites because we are very Bible centric,
You can be Bible
opponents.
centric,
So,
yo, bro,
if,
bro,
if you
bro,
can't allow us to use
bro.
our scripture to
No,
validate
you're
what we're
not using
saying,
that shit. Not here. Because if you're
brother,
saying, bro,
look, this is the problem,
listen,
right? You are
brother,
actually
mute
intimidating.
your mic, bro. Now I gotta mute your mic. This show is about the origin of black Hebrew Israelite culture in the Americas. You're from the UK. So now that you're from the UK, you're already in the conversation you shouldn't even be in. So now you're in the conversation. I asked you about the UK. You don't know the history of black people where you're from. You start with the Wentworth. You don't even know anything about it. That's a problem right there. You're starting with the Bible. So when we looking at this, black people are not, of the sub-Saharan people who are there, they are not indigenous to that place. They came from somewhere. So whenever the black people go, they bring their culture with them. So if you don't have no information about where's this Hebrew Israelite culture getting off the boat with these people, where you read the Bible and you magically connected Deuteronomy 28 with it because you're lying. You read
Wait,
that
wait.
somewhere.
Where
You
did the
got it from
Americans who
somewhere.
got off the boat come from, brother? Where did they come from?
They came from Ghana. They came from Dahomey. They came from the Bight of Benin.
All
They
right,
came from
bingo,
multiple
bingo.
tribes.
So their culture in those regions, what were the influences that they had on their culture in those regions? Are you aware of them?
What code? Who had info? What?
So what I'm telling you, brother, in the west coast of Africa, right? The reason why we see various cultures in those people is because we had a lot of cultures imposed on them through cultural imperialization,
Who?
such as the Arabs that took over, I believe
No,
it
no,
was
no, 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 no.
um,
Stop, brother. I'm
West
not talking,
Africa,
brother.
Senegal. So
Listen to
this
me,
is the
brother.
reason why we don't always see Hebraisms in the culture,
Listen,
because
brother. Listen to me. Listen,
The
yo, hold
West
on, bro.
Africans have had
Brother,
many
listen.
cultures come and conquer them.
Listen, bro. Ain't nobody conquer everybody. Get out of here, man. You making this shit up.
I'm
What I'm
saying
telling,
it's been a
yo,
mixed culture. It's been
I gotta mute your mic, bro. I gotta mute your mic. The origins of these specific tribes have their cultures. If we look in Benin, you got voodoo. You got that there. We look in Yoruba land, you see they got Ifa. We look in you look at the Igbo, you see they got the Chi and all these other things over there. Those cultures are the cultures that come to the Americas and go where you are. We know that it goes there because when they go into Africa, the first thing that those black people build through the church is confraternities. And they begin to call themselves according to their nations, right? So I don't know what you're talking about. We can see Shango get
can
off
I
the
just land my
boat.
point,
We
brother?
can see Shango get off the boat. We can see Ogun get off the boat. We can see Divination getting off the boat. We can see African fighting styles get off the boat. We don't see no black people carrying Yahweh talking about any of those tribes. If you
Okay,
don't have
Reborn,
that, you gotta leave, bro.
Let me finish my point, right? So you made your
There's
point. So
no other
allow
point
me to
except
rebuttal.
that.
I'm about to rebuttal what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know if you just here just to have a one-sided, monologue and shout at me, or are you gonna allow me to defend myself?
Bro, my video or this presentation is about the origins of black Hebrew
In
culture
America,
in the
I'm aware.
America.
I'm aware.
You're from the UK. So since you entered this, I asked you the history of black people in the UK, and you start with the damn 60s and then going to the 30s with the wind code, going back and forth with
Is
that.
that not part of the history? But
No,
anyway, let me
that
make
is
the
not
point.
the origin of black
It is part of
sub-Saharan.
the history.
That is not the origin of black sub-Saharan Africans in that region.
All right, so just allow me to respond to what you're saying about the different cultures that we see entering America from Africa, and you're saying we didn't have any Hebrew culture,
All
right?
right, go ahead. Let's get it.
Okay.
Get
So
down
yeah,
to it.
in the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 64, it
Nah,
says,
I'm good.
"And the
Nope,
Lord,"
nope, nope, nope. I'm stopping you. You're not using your
one verse,
Bible. You
one
need to
verse.
show me the culture amongst the people.
You're putting
No,
duct tape in my mouth when I'm trying to
no,
answer the
brother.
question,
I'm
man.
gonna kick you off here in a minute. I'm not
All
playing
right.
your Bible versus game. This is
You
about history.
seem very feeble in your scholarship if you
I
can't even
know. Goodbye,
dialogue with
yo.
someone on the
This
opposite
is
end
your
of the
last. This is
spectrum.
your last
All
shot.
right. You're
This is your last shot. Show me the
if you can't
history
have
without quoting that Bible. Can you do that?
all
Yes or
right,
no?
you know what? You can't handle the Bible. That's the
I
problem.
know. Yeah,
And
get
that's
your
something you're gonna
crazy ass out of
confront,
here.
you know, in
Yo,
the
you're
afterlife.
gone. Use a nigga
All
brew.
right. All
Yeah,
right.
get your ass out of here.
I thought you
Bye.
had more.
I know. Get your ass up out of here. You came over here. You from the UK talking crazy. I'm not playing with you, Hebrews. Nope. Not playing with you. The first thing you want to tell me about some goddamn Deuteronomy 28. Get out of here. We ain't doing that. We're not doing Deuteronomy 28. Yo, what up, Savio?
What up? He's still on here talking that
Nah, I
nonsense?
got him out of here, son. I ain't feel like dealing with that dumb shit, bro. I can't, like, that's something that Brother Garfield would sit there and entertain it. When I'm asking you something about history and you start talking about the Bible, I'm not there. I'm not bearing. We ain't doing that.
I thought he was going to at least show something more than the Bible, yo.
We ain't doing that.
I'm sitting here in the chat, listening like, come on, bro, show something more than the Bible. You in there talking all this head, like you really got the proof. Like, man, Rob Bourne, y'all been killing it. Y'all been killing it. Today you just put them to bed some more, and I actually got that Jacob Dorman shit. I just got another piece of that today. Some more of that today. They sent it to me in my email from one of these sites that I mess with, one of these Jewish sites where they always sending me information on Hebrew Israelism and stuff.
Mika wanted me to sit there and play with this guy.
Mika wanted you to play with it. Mika wanted you to entertain.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna entertain none of that. And the shit is crazy. We talking about America. You from the UK,
right? He from the UK.
Somebody else
right?
Want the link? Who else want the link? Somebody else want some smoke? Come on.
Oh, Gideon. I don't know. Gideon don't want no more smoke.
Yo, Gideon is done, son. I'm gonna pull a video up on. He better not come up here,
every time he come up. I got the video sent to me. I had somebody send me that clip. I needed that, yo. Anytime he say anything, that's all I'm gonna do. Gideon, this is you right here. You might not be in the Israelite, but yeah, man, that shit True Storian did this morning, that was beautiful. I hope people was able to understand that, because that was beautiful.
Man, Bible is all you need, yo. More power to you, fam. This ain't about that. I'm sorry, yo. I apologize, fam, but I'm just not. I ain't in that mood. There's some serious things going on here. Y'all just cost somebody $600 million, even though he didn't care
$600 million.
He didn't even care about me, but you know. And then there's another piece to this puzzle that True Storian laid down as far as the controlling of media and what this is really all about. And I figured these two ways will separate them, and I think they go together. So that's why I dropped.
600 million.
Yeah, it cost that man $600 million, bro.
And that's an expensive lack of education right there, bruh.
Yeah. I put the link in the chat. Y'all keep telling me put the link in the chat. Yo, let me go find the video I did on Savior. Yo, hold on. Where my man Gideon? Or Gideon? Let me find Gideon shit. Yo, hold on.
I thought you was like on me. You did a video on me about bro. What?
You ain't do nothing. Hold on. Is this it? Yeah, we go get him. We go get him. This is what y'all sound like, y'all. Here we go. Shout out to my brother Jehuti. Where's that? Where's my movie maker? Yeah, let's go.
Is a large group of slaves that came on a slave ship to the Western Hemisphere were Israelites. That's what I'm saying. So you might not be an Israelite. You might be whatever. I might not be an Israelite. I don't know.
Got him! Got him! Oh! Whoa! Whoa!
Is a large group of slaves that came on a slave ship to the Western Hemisphere were Israelites. That's what I'm saying. So you might not be an Israelite. You might be whatever. I might not be an Israelite. I don't know.
Oh my God! Wow!
A large group
At that moment,
of slaves that came on a slave ship to the Western Hemisphere were Israelites. That's what I'm saying. So you might not be an Israelite. You might be whatever. I might not be an Israelite. I don't know.
Bam,
yo,
bada bop, pow.
Damn.
Rabor, you know what you need to add to that? You need to add
What's
that clip in Menace to Society, you know, where the cop got him at the table. You know you'd have fucked up, right?
Yeah, yo, that's how y'all saying when y'all tell me you're an Israelite, bro. Bam, bada bop, pow. Deuteronomy 28:68. I'm an Israelite. Get out of here with that shit, man. Yo, let me get my Kindle up here, yo. I'm gonna go in a little more, then I'm about to end this.
Yo, but you can see.
Let me know if somebody want.
But if you
let me know if somebody else want to come.
I got you. But let me say this before I let you go. I wanted to say this. If you paid attention to what True Story was talking about this morning and you pay attention, you can actually see all that actually playing up right now today. That's why I asked that question about how that played into the formation of these religions and shit like that. You feel me? Because now you can see how our search for an identity and them making this identity forced us to do this shit. It's kind of like our hands was forced.
Yeah. It's a tough cookie, man. Boom, by the backboard, pow. Oh man, bro, it's crazy. All right, let me share a joint. Let me go into the archive. This is my last ones, bro. Yeah, man, this is just to add on more. Let me go in here. Oh yeah, this book on the Sahara you see right here. Wait, where is it at? Urbanization and State Formation in the Ancient Sahara and Beyond. Woof. Woof. All right, so let's go. Okay. Where'd they go? Where did it go? All right, so let me pop it up in here like this. Okay. Bam. All right. So let's do this. So this book is called The Souls of Judaism.
I love that book.
Yo, it's a good book.
Yes, it is.
Y'all see what I was reading earlier, right? And this is just going, tie the things in with the what I was saying earlier. And it said children of Jewish, it's talking about Brazil's going to talk about now. So we leaving over here because ain't nobody got no smoke for over here. I'm pretty sure that where the most of Africans went in the slave trade, which is Latin America, surely you can find nigger brews everywhere. But seems that ain't the case neither. But anyway, it says the children of Jewish men and African slaves were frequently given Jewish names and Jewish upbringings. See that? Cultural transmission between Jews and Africans seems widespread. One prominent 18th century observer reported 4 villages and plantations of Jewish Maroons. Oh shit, Jewish Maroons among the Jajuka tribe. In fact, even the Samaka Maroon clan names come from the Jewish owners. Got him. You got no. Owners of the plantation from which their ancestors escaped centuries earlier. In the Paramimbo, one can find traditional Jewish tombstones. I'm going to show you some of them in another book, marked with African symbolism. Frequently, Jewish men converted female African slaves so they could marry them as Jews. So they made the black woman a Jew to get the snatch. This is your peoples? So you want to be. Okay. In some cases, slaves were emancipating following their conversion to Judaism, while community leaders often defended traditional Jewish identities and practiced color and freeman status, eventually superseded halakia and determined who was part of the community. In Brazil, between 1630 and 1654, Jewish purchaser dominated slave auctions. That's your people? That's who you are? Okay. Why is it not hard to find these people, but it's hard to find you black people? Very interesting. They was hiding it in the books. Yeah, sure they were. Buying and selling slaves to plantation owners and others on credit. The Jewish community imposed a tax on its members for each slave purchased from the Dutch West Indian Company, and freedom was automatically granted to any slave who converted to Judaism. According to his congressional minutes, a slave shall not be circumcised without first having been freed by his master, so that the master should not be able to sell him from the moment the slave will have bound himself to Judaism. Damn. This same thing happens all in South America. Let me keep going back here. Look at this. The first modern-day Black African or Negro to undergo a formal conversion to Judaism was discovered in the record of the Inquisition of 1474. According to the record of Alexandria de Castro from the house of Exulia, underwent a circumcision at the hands of some Jews from the city of Marasa. Damn. Ha. 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 It gets worse. It gets worse. But I'm done with this. This is what the people wanted. I just wanted to drop that. And let me see, where's my Google book? You still there?
You know
Not
I'm
there?
here, bro.
Cool.
I'm just listening.
Yeah, you already know this stuff, though, man. You didn't seen us go through this, I don't know how many times, but...
Bruh, you know, I love the one thing I've done is I've learned to listen to people that actually have information that I can follow and pick up from and things like that. I've always been a learner. So if y'all can teach me, I'm gonna follow you.
Right, man. And I'm waiting for my thing to seems to not want to. I don't know what's up with this. They don't want to give me my book, bro. They say I'm pseudo. All right, here we go. So we're gonna go into this right here. I'm going into my another location. And we're gonna go here. And now we're gonna go to Suriname. That's where we're going now. And yeah, we're going over there now. Where's Google Books at? All right.
Man, Google Books. I love Google Books, bro. You can get a lot of shit on there for free.
Yeah, I should beat that. Should I beat up one day or two at the same time? Should we get that up? No, I don't feel like going through that. Yeah, I'm gonna go through that too. But anyway, this book is called The Jews and the Expansion of Europe to the West, 1415 to 1800. Come on, man. Open my book. Give it to me. Oh, no, that don't look right. We got to make this white. Okay. Let's see. Let me move you out of the way. Where's my bookmark on here? Oh, God, I got all of this stuff bookmarked in here, man. There we go. Bang. Oh, it's about to turn. All right. So it says the discussion of African antecedents of the architecture and culture, hold on, is enormously important. African and Jewish cultures were in close contact in Suriname and clearly affected one another. Benhart's drawing documents or perhaps illustrates such proximity. On the right is the workshop of an African-American tailor, complete with his African name. Kofi is a West African name, particularly among the Eve people of West Africa, prominently displayed. On the left is a shop of clothes and the other ready-made goods. Its proprietor is a merchant of Sephardic stock with his ethnic name similarly displayed. So this is from the 1800s. You can see that right there. See that? See them in there? That's that. But I want to show you something else here. Within walking distance of the Jewish cemetery is the so-called Creole in Suriname, meaning descendant of an African slave cemetery. Those graves still visible date from the 19th to 20th centuries. The heart shape found on some of the graves in this cemetery is most likely a Sankofa. Go back and fetch it. Is a symbol for the important proverb of the Akan people of West Africa, from whom many Surinames descend. So let's take a look at them. Let's keep scrolling. Bang. So here, tomb with Sankofa or Akoma on a horizontal gravestone, Creole cemetery. See that? See here? Vertical grave marker with Sankofa from Johannesburg's Creole cemetery. See that? Now you scroll all the way down. Tombs with horizontal gravestones, vertical wooden marks with Sankofa finals and Akoma heart symbols attached Sephardic cemetery. So this can't happen nowhere other place in the world. However, these people in Suriname, the Jews, yeah, you heard about the Maroons and the slaves. They had 9,000 African people as slaves. And they married the women in most of these cases. And some of them adopted the Jewish faith and kept their African culture. But in these specific islands, or in these specific, that's not an island, but in these specific places, they were allowed to practice their culture. So in other places, the Jews were not allowed to do it. So they liked it to go to Holland. And then from there, they up in Jamaica. They all over the place. But in those other areas, they are allowed to do that. But then when they're there, they get mad and say, yo, these Jews is trying to lock down this trade over here. Get them people up out of here. This is what they did. And they got them up out of there. But we're not done. I want you to see what they said. What did the people say about these people? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What did the Maroons say about the Jew? What did they say? What did they say? We just waiting for the book to load up. Bang! Right on the page as soon as I open it. What did they say? Perspective of Jewish whiteness, dominance, and colonial otherness. The white man, a Maroon's perspective. Jew was unequivocally a white man, as seen through the eyes of Maroons. This was a notion of whiteness that transcends skin color alone. It was an amalgam of skin color and dominance. Unfamiliar with Jewish otherness or with Jewish religion and culture for that matter, the only things that mattered to Maroons from their subordinate position was the light skin of the Suriname Jews and their dominant status as slave owners. That's your people? That's your people. These are the people in the historical record that we could trace in the Americas. I don't have a black community nowhere. Not one. Not in Jamaica. Not in Barbados. Not nowhere. We don't have you nowhere. in the Americas, anywhere. As the voices of the enslaved and the Maroons are seldom heard in the colonial archives, oral history is an important source for the subterranean perspective. The following Saramaccan folktale, which have been handed down through the ages before, is recorded by Richard Price, clearly illustrates this perspective. So they basically, this is one of their folklores about this. I don't need to keep going. I'm done.
Yeah, that
I
was
just
his
went away.
body bag. You put the body bag in the body bag.
I'm done.
Yeah, I guess it's time to say goodnight on that note.
Yeah. Yeah. So
ain't nothing they can say.
I don't know. I have no Hunter said we might as well claim to be Nawabians. At least they uniquely Black American religion. Can't even say that. They snatched all their shit from the Euro.
Right.
All praise the Most High Yah. That's what's up, brother. If you believe in the book, that's fine. I don't got no problem with that. Enslaved Africans had mitzvah ball receipts in between their teeth. Don't you defend Yahweh, Khalil? Yo, y'all going ham in here.
Tell y'all.
The Black Zionist, the world not ready for my truth and history. I just sit back and spirit cook like I'm gonna do tomorrow night during the lunar eclipse. Wow, that sounds deep. The doggone used the Star of David to come to America before Columbus. Yo, I'm gonna put the link in here one more time. Yo, we done, man. I hope I ain't messed the live up, man. I should have kicked him off once he started talking, bro. Once he started talking, I got the Deuteronomy, man. Get out of here, man. This nigga in the UK talking about he an Israelite. I should have pulled up that Anglo-Israelism on his ass. I don't know why I ain't do that.
That British Israelism.
Yeah, son, I should have pulled up that shit. Damn. I wasn't thinking, son, because I was like, what is this dude talking about, man? Get out of here, man. I don't want to hear that shit, bro.
They don't know how racist. They don't realize how racist they actually are. That's what's sad, Rob Bourne. That's what's really disturbing. They don't really realize what they're actually saying.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I just wanted to put this out here. You know, hopefully somebody watch it. And it is what it is, man. I don't know what's coming up next, but you know, we lit. I don't know what's coming up next, man.
Well, but I'm ready to go after the Muslims.
Nah, I ain't messing with no more religion. This is a hot topic right now. This is a hot topic right here, man.
You're right.
You don't know what true story got in the bag, son. I know what he doing, son. When that drops, son, I don't know.
That already looked from what I can see, from what I seen yesterday and today, it don't look like it's gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
It look like it's gonna get real messy.
No, messy is just the truth.
You're right. I understand it's the truth, but I understand people gonna be there's gonna be some upset people when this information gets out. He's gonna have a lot of people coming at him, a lot of people that don't like the information that he spit coming at him. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Well, nobody else is I don't know who that elevated guy was. I had to get him up out of here, bro. So I don't need no history. All I need is the Bible. Yeah, I'm good, my nigga. I ain't here to have that conversation with you, bro.
Right there, you done lost.
This is Deuteronomy 2068. Nah, son, we ain't doing that. I'm not even going. I don't have the patience for that no more, bro. Once you start with that shit, and I'm talking about real history, bro, when you start with that, I'm out of here, bro. Yeah, I'm not going to open my books up. The conversation
ain't even worth it.
I'm not going to open my books up and show you all of this. I'm not even doing none of that, bro. But we out of here, man.
All right, bro.
We got one more person in the building. See who else is coming in here. We looking for some more nigga.
Oh, that's Foxy Moon from earlier. That's a sister from earlier. So you looking for a nigger brew? Ain't no
Nah,
nigger brews hitting this
I
one.
ain't looking for no more though, bro. I'm good. What's good, Miss Moon? Yo, you can hear me, Sabio?
Mm-hmm. I think her mic connected. Yeah, her mic just connected.
Peace, peace.
Peace, peace.
Oh, salute to you, Brother Robert, and salute, Brother Savio.
Peace, sis.
Yeah. Peace, peace.
I just wanted to say thank you again. This morning, between you and Brother Danny, I had to take a serious nap. My head was spinning with the information that the lecture that was given, and then again tonight. I was prepared tonight. I'm prepared. Because you know what, like we have to really put on our big boy and big girl pants and get for real, because two entertainers, especially Kanye, has sat here and told people about being Israelites or being Hebrew. And so now everybody is born again Christian and wants to reference the Bible. And I'm like, listen, that's not where it's at. You can't group, just like you can't group all Jewish people like he did together and spewed out what he said. So, you know, this information that you're putting out to us, Brother Ra, is essential. It's necessary, because this is going to take the feelings out of things and get for real and look at what's written as opposed to what you're feeling. You know, I grew up Christian, and none of this was ever taught to us as far as, oh, you're Israel and you're Hebrew. You know, it's in the Bible, but my family wasn't talking like that. So, you know, for grown people to have these debates now, they want to, again, have this born again religious aspect. It's like, that's always going to be a debate, and you have to get your feelings out of it and dive deeper. We've been embedded and fed the Egyptian monologues and the myths, and you know, that's great and everything, but I had to come to my full circle on that too. Like, that's not even, it's all Masonic. And then people are like, oh, what's Masonic? And that's Illuminati. No, that's what they were. They were Masons. Like, they were carpenters and builders, but they had knowledge that they didn't want to, you know, have everybody else know about, so they kept it to themselves. That's just like, you know, keeping stuff in your house. You don't want everybody to know your business, so you're just gonna keep it to yourself. This is what those Masons did. But I just want to say again, I just thank you. Like, I'm going around in circles because my head is spinning, because it's like I have to get out of my feelings of religion and face the facts that these same people that some of these entertainers are having issues with or batting for. Like, there's black folk out here like going to war with other black folk, or for what these entertainers are saying. And it's like, y'all don't even know your whole history. It's sad.
Yeah, it get crazy, man. It's a crazy thing. Like, the Mason thing that's a whole nother conversation. We got a whole bunch of builds on that. I don't got no issue with black Freemasons. I just emphasize it because this is what the Hebrew Israelite, oh, they're Masons. And then if we look at Prince Hall, he's the founder of the first back to Africa movement. We look at him petitioning to free the slaves. We look at his son making the first black school for black people, right? And then you look at all the rest of those people, like all of the abolitionists, they all Freemasons, bro. But they working to help black people. And then when you get to look at it, you get to see that they helping on the Underground Railroad and all this other stuff. That's a whole nother topic. But I'll emphasize it because this is what they say, and I laugh at you because, dog, the origins of your thing. Where you think all of these how you deal with women, how you deal with men, how you deal with organizing this come from, man. Like, you can't separate that. But we did have somebody else up there. He jumped off, I guess he got scared. But yeah, man.
It's just essential that it's one thing to come up here and talk about certain, talk about what you're talking about, but also bringing, as they call, the receipts to the table as well, because essentially Black people are emotional, and that's no disrespect and that's no slight. That's our makeup. So we're going to be based off of feeling first before knowledge, before actual reading and actually looking at what's in black and white. And so this is the conversation that we need to have, so that, it's no disrespect to anybody if that's their faith, if that's how they believe, but bring to the table what's written, because everybody wants to cleave to the Bible, or to the Quran, or to whatever other books written in religious constructs or have you. But when you really bring this truth out here, that's when we like bow down, just be like, all right, you know what I'm saying, like be open enough to receive it, whether you believe it or not, but just be open-minded enough to really see everything, because it all entwines at the end of the day. But people want to claim something, and I understand that, because they don't know, some of them don't know where they're coming from, so they got to claim just whatever else is out there. Like brother said, Nuwapian, like I was all on that. York, Hebrew Israelite, hearing that, wanted to become a Muslim. Like it's all trying to find self. But when you read, you then become more aware of who you are and sit back and reflect on yourself. Like you're not going to find it outside. There's no magic genie that's going to make things, appear and disappear. Like that's all on you at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a creator. There's something higher than us, and I'm not taking that away at all. I can't sit here and be like, man did this all. No, there's something infinite out there that's wheeling and dealing.
I don't know about that, sis. You're gonna have to prove that. You just can't say that around us. Well, you can't. You just can't say that around us. We ain't gonna accept that.
I can't prove it, but what I can prove is a man's actions, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like I'm responsible for myself. Is there something that's outside of me? I don't know. I believe that I'm inner, outer, and overall. You know what I mean? Like I'm the Trinity. But then that sound cocky. That'd be like, oh, you think you're better than somebody else, and I'm just like, I'm not. But I understand that it's me, myself, and I. When you hear that statement, that's what it is. That's the Trinity. It's man, woman, and child, but it's you, yourself, and I as well. Like you're responsible for the actions that you put out here on a day-to-day.
I agree with that. So what does the guy have to do with any of that?
That's just what I've been, that's word on the street. Is there something?
Yeah, that's just a belief, bro. If you believe it, I mean, it is what it is. That's it. At that point, you move along. I mean, so like you believe in God, that's fine. All that's cool. But when dealing with this right here, the lineage part of these mythical ancestors that nobody never said that they were, that's when we get it down to. We get down to that. Like, bro, yeah, like this is a problem. Now, there's a history of this in Africa. We can go through that, but that's another story.
Right.
I'm strictly here, when I'm doing it or how we doing it, we talking about this right here. How this happened in America, where we get it from, how did they devise it? And when you look at all of those systems and names, there's so many people that we got all on our channel, Sufi Hamid, the Black Hitler, all these dudes, you can see it. And then you're gonna see at the root of all of this is one, search for identity and use it as a tool in some aspect to liberate the people. And then some people became scam gods and was like, yo, I'm scamming. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Once they tell you that, yo, like, and it's crazy if you think about it, listen to it. All of them people said that they family ain't tell them this. They all came from the church. They said they got a divine revelation. God came to talk to them and told them that this is that. And the people believed it. They needed hope. And that's what it was. But today and what's going on now is deeper than that. Because this is dealing with power. And this is dealing with how we control, how you think you control your image and
you really don't.
And you really don't. And when you get down to it, these are things that are a part of being American. And all of those people, I know it sounds like an ADOS talking point, but they had to prove their proximity to whiteness. And they had to take a step. And that step was, you not really liked, but they not like. We got it caught down in common. Let's step on it. We got your whole thing mapped out. We gonna show you the world who you are. That's crazy. Yo, the Ethiopian clowns, bro. Yo,
Man, Ethiopian clowns.
Bro, the
Right.
dude that is in the NBA International Ethiopian clowns, bro, got us on the picture looking like monkeys and shit.
Right.
Bro.
Man.
And it's like, you ain't gotta get crazy with them. Just put it out there. Like, yo, this is what it is. This is what happened. What's up? And they can't say nothing. They be like, all right, you got that. It's just being armed with the information. So you saying stuff that got some validity to it, but it's like, you kind of went too far, brother. You was watching the YouTube, and that's what I'm saying. This is the power of the algorithm, bro. And whatever pop up, that's what it is.
So, brother Robin, do you feel that it's always been about power? Like, this is just regurgitated stuff that we've been hearing 60 years ago. Do you feel like it's always been about power?
Yeah, it's always been about that. That's what it is about. The whole entertainment business is started by laughing at us. It's all about Jim Crow, laugh at you. And it was not even just you, it was the free population. We gonna laugh at look at these niggas trying to be like us. Look at these niggas writing and shit. Talking about they want to be free. Free? Man, please, man. I mean, so it's crazy, bro. It's a telling story. But on top of that comes this identity crisis we talking about now. So that's what makes it like, oh man, you know.
It's actually psychological. Like, this sounds very sad. This is, yeah, that's all I can say. It's sad. It's because you think, like, you just broke it down. The minstrel circuit was so-called white people making fun of so-called black people, and then black people are now doning on that, and they've become the very thing that they're against and they hate. I mean, that's sick. That's some
the psychology. Yeah, it's a psychological
you know
game.
what I mean? Like, that's some Bellevue sitting in the padded room trying to figure this out. Sick.
Yeah.
It don't get no deeper than that. I'm trying to find this thing I have on this. Let me see. Germantown. What's the name of this thing, man? German.
That we've been under for hundreds of years.
Where's this thing at, man? I think I lost it, man. I hate when sometimes I have something and I don't link it. But I ain't gonna bring it up because I ain't got it. I don't like bringing up stuff I ain't got. Damn, man. I know I had this damn thing here, man, but it goes into the story, but it ain't nothing, man. I'm out of here, man. Anybody got some other questions in the chat? Good looking out for all of those who supported and hit the Cash App. Yeah, man. Thanks for that. Yeah.
All right, bro. I'll let you later be.
All right. Peace. Peace, Sister Moon. Thanks for hitting the map. Peace to everybody in the building. Let me see who we got in here left. We got Sun Lion, peace. D. Santavio, peace. Easy Barber, peace. Khalil, Gullah, Griot, You Not Learned, peace. The Black Zionist, peace. High Power TV, peace. King, I never did Zoom. I ain't know what to do. It's all good, man. We'll be back on. Hunet, peace. He's a black Kabbalist. Hey, that's all good. Bantu, Mandinka in the building. Who else in here? Who else up in here? And Miriam, Mike Green, Pure Black. And Spoxy in the building. Jaded Emperor. Peace, peace, peace. Leave out with a black power. Wisdom in the building. Leave out with a black power salute. Peace to all the people in the building. Hope you enjoyed the show. We want some resources, let us know, and we might be able to send that your way. With that, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Chanel.